Howdy. I actually wanted to do this video the other night because I'm recording this on a Friday. And on Wednesday night, I played the funnest gig that I've played in years. I play in a band called The Crumbs. We're kind of a bluegrass band, but not really because we have a drummer and stuff. But we call it bluegrass just for simplicity's sake. And we have an every other week Wednesday night at the Brunswick Pub in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And we play from 6:30 to about 9 o'clock. Sometimes it's more 7 to 9. Sometimes it's more 6:30 to 9:30. It kind of depends on the evening. And normally there's 4 of us. Sometimes it's always myself, Brandon Patterson, our bass player, Jeremy Trobaugh, our drummer, and then usually our 4th person is either Tabitha Graves, who sings with us, or it's Jeff Schultes, our mandolin player. Sometimes we get all 5 of us in the same place, and that's always a little more fun because we have more vocal harmonies and we get to interact and play a wider variety of songs because all of us sing. This week, something really interesting happened. We knew Jeff was going to come play with us, and he told us that Jarvis Holloway, a fiddler that we play with, he's a former Arkansas state champion fiddler, that he was going to come out and sit in with us, and we were all excited because we love playing with Jarvis. It means we get to do things like Orange Blossom Special and Blackberry Blossom, a lot of really traditional string band stuff. And a little earlier in the day, I had talked to a fiddle player that we used to play with in the early days of the Crumbs and also in another group called Shady Groove. And his name is Brandon King. And so I had talked to him and I said, yeah, come out and play a couple tunes with us. So we show up. I get there about 6:20. We start playing at 6:30. And everybody is in the room. And the bar is packed. And it's a very, very small bar. And because it's a small bar, we play unplugged, usually. And it was packed enough that we kind of knew we were going to have some volume problems. So, we had to sing really loud. But this time, because there were 7 of us, we knew we could make a hell of a ruckus and that we'd be heard. So we started off playing a couple of songs. And we got the 2 fiddlers head to head on each other, and they're sawing away and just making a hell of a noise. And from the first song, everybody in the group is just grinning ear to ear. Partly because we've got guitar solos, mandolin solos, 2 fiddle solos. Brandon takes a solo, and we even let the drums take a solo. And so we're all soloing, and we're treating it like it's a jazz gig, actually. Everybody gets to solo. And we're all grinning because we're playing just some serious weird stuff. The audience is going nuts because the fiddle's a pretty flashy instrument. You put 1 fiddler in front of the group and they start sawing, the crowd's going to go nuts. You get 2 of them head to head playing off of each other, and it just multiplies it by 2. And that's the environment that I was playing in the other night.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, we got absolutely off our normal script. We didn't play our normal set list. We did play a lot of the songs we normally play, but we were just reaching for weird stuff just to give all the soloists available a chance to blow. Also, because we had extra people with us, every one of us sings. So at some point we had, I'm not going to say we had 5 or 6 or 7 part harmony going on because some of us were doubling each other. Now, I know there's a lot of doom and gloom on the internet, especially on YouTube right now, about how, oh, live music is dead. You can't be a live musician and get gigs and make any money. And we have a special set of circumstances because the Crumbs almost always play unamplified. So we don't have to haul any amps or a PA or microphones, any of that stuff in. We just haul our instruments in and we just sing real loud and we play real loud, and there's nothing for us to worry about. So for me, on a Wednesday night to play a $50 gig, everyone says, "Oh, you're stupid. You're underselling yourself." Am I really? I live 7 minutes away from the venue. It's a Wednesday night. I'm going to be sitting at home playing guitar anyway. We have no gear to load in, so that's not a big deal. So between those things, just being up the street, no gear to load in, nothing to do on a Wednesday night anyway, I'll go in and make $50, and if we do a good job, we will make another $50 each, sometimes in the tip jar. So, this 2-hour gig is turned into a $100 thing with no overhead. So that's something to keep in mind. And you play enough gigs like that where you don't have to haul stuff, and you're just a few minutes from the house, your profit margin has gone up. So don't let anyone tell you that there aren't gig opportunities out there. And the thing is, even if you are in a small town that doesn't have a lot of big venues for bands and stuff, well, it doesn't really matter. Fort Smith, Arkansas is roughly about 100,000 people. It's not a huge place. There aren't a ton of places to play, but we also play in a lot of places where you wouldn't expect a band to play. We'll play the brew pubs. We'll play the beer gardens. Yes, we do play some dive bars. We also play some upper end places as well. The thing is, if you're a musician, you can make a lot of those opportunities. Yes, at the beginning, you'll start out making some low dough. You have to prove yourself. It doesn't matter how important you feel you are as a player. It doesn't matter how many shreddy arpeggios you can play. If you can't keep people in the bar buying beer, you're not doing your job and you won't get hired again. Have a good attitude, and you can make opportunities to play. It's almost like it's free money. Yes, it might not be $500 a night like you think you might be worth, but you have to earn that when it comes down to it. So anyway, don't buy the hype. You can find places to play. You can make places to play. You can make opportunities to play. Now, following up on this idea of maybe having to play some low-dough gigs, let me return back to Wednesday night. I might have said it before earlier in the video, but this is the most fun gig not just me, basically every one of us that were playing that night. It was the most fun we'd had in forever. Matter of fact, Jeremy, our drummer, just kind of didn't know how to process it because he had never been in this situation with us before. And he kept looking around like, I have no clue what's going on, but I'm going to keep playing. And he did. He kept his wits about him with all this crazy stuff going on. And he did beautifully. And the crowds were very appreciative. We had a lot of tips. We sold some CDs, sold some T-shirts. We did some business. So that was really, really cool. But again, the thing that was most fun is that I started off this week thinking that Wednesday night was going to be kind of just a low-dough gig to give me some running money through the week. And it ended up being something so much more because it was one of those opportunities where you get to interact with musicians that you don't normally play with. And those are some of the most fun things, because normally if you haven't seen a musician in a while and they come out and they play with you, it's kind of like a homecoming. Once you start playing, it just feels like you've never stopped playing with those people ever. That's a really fun experience to be in. Very adventurous, very, again, experimental. So you can also make those opportunities happen. So invite people out to play with you if you do have gigs. Have fun. That's the most important thing. We play music because it's fun. Yes, it's good to make a living at what you do, but just like any job, if you're doing it for the money, it's just a job. So I'll just leave you with the idea that play because it's fun, and when the opportunities arise, make some money while you're doing it, because that's always a great thing to do. Anyway, that's it. Just a little off-the-cuff rant that just inspired by a cool musical experience I had. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.